You're listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips, where we present audiobook quality readings of the classics for your enjoyment. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, just because you're a bumpkin doesn't mean you can't be cultured. Hello and welcome to The Cultured Bumpkin. I'm Jake. Today is a inaugural episode where we're doing it live on YouTube. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already listen on my Apple podcasts. What do I need to listen to that for? You don't. Wherever you're listening, that's the place to listen. But from time to time, I'll have guests. I'll have stuff in the studio. I might have a cool shirt. I might have a cool hat. Whatever. And it's just sometimes fun to listen in. But anyway, today we are going to read Max Ehrmann's Desiderata. Oh, but before we start, I got an email from Steven in Indiana, and I wanted to share it with you because it's great. It says, "Hey again, Jake." He said, "Thanks for all your help in planting grass in my front yard in the spring and then cutting down a tall maple stump with a hand tree saw, which was not only good exercise, but quiet enough to allow for easy listening to podcasts. Yes, we've tackled several tasks together in 2023, and you've done most of the talking. You're good company." That's from Steve in Indiana. Thank you, Steve. And you are welcome. I'm glad we got some work done around the house, and it's always a good time. Thank you very much for that encouragement. That was wonderful. And here's to the second half of, or less than half now, but 2023. Maybe we'll get some leaves raked or something. Okay, on to today's episode. Now, this was written in 1927. And it goes like this. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly to the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy. That was Max Ehrmann with Desiderata, published in 1927. Now, especially to my younger readers, there's some things in there that you might not agree with. Let's say if you're a Christian, you're a Bible reader, I bet you there's some stuff in there you don't agree with. What you ought to do, go to your mom or dad, say, hey, what do you think about this poem? Talk about it. Talk about the things you agree with, the things you don't agree with, and why. I won't do it in this episode, but there's things in here that I completely agree with, and there's some things in here I completely disagree with. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know if it's considered a classic yet. It's not even 100 years old. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I think that, I think it's good to hear points of view that you don't agree with, and then be able to either, you can engage with it in some way, politely. Anyway, Desiderata, great poem, a lot of good stuff in there. So, with my podcast here, my plan is to start recording it live, right? And this will help me do two things. I can put the live on YouTube, and people can access the recording over there. I then take the audio from the session, and I edit it up, and I can make YouTube videos out of it. And then, of course, you have the podcast episode that'll go up in its normal places, like Apple, Spotify, that sort of thing. And then I can take out like just the, Desiderata part and put it on Audible in some of my collections. I have several Audible poetry and short story collections up on Audible now under the Cultured Bumpkin. So you should check those out if you're an Audible person. And then, So that's about it for today, I think. That was Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. We're just being so efficient right now. Taking this, sticking it on the podcast, sticking it on the YouTube in a live, but then also editing it, putting a little music and maybe some sound effects as a main video with words that go up, and then probably on Audible and Libro FM and things like that. So, busy time. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for, just being here and listening, and the feedback and things like that. I always enjoy it. And I hope you have a great day or night or wherever it is you are in the world. Talk to you later. You've been listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips. Thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, would you mind going and subscribing and leaving a nice review on whatever podcast platform you heard this on? I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.